What's going on, guys? My name is Brooks from Big Number 1 Motorsports, and I want to talk a little bit about this sweet machine. This is a 2016 model Commander Max Limited. Now, probably fairly familiar with Can-Am and all their stuff. Some of the stuff that goes on the limited package, I want to tell you a little bit about. Some of the more pertinent things that are kind of wild for one of these. You do get a full radio system in this thing. You've got speakers back there on the roll cage. You got speakers down here in the kick panels, and this sound system sounds phenomenal. And it's all included in the package. It also comes with full top, but what's different about the top that comes on this one is it's got a little sunlight up in the top of it, so the rear passenger and everything and get a little bit of warmth coming back there. If it's on a chillier winter day, you still get a little bit of toastiness for the little ones in the back. Some of the things that they've gone and changed for 2016 are like the motor now. It used to be like a 25-hour break-in period. Now they've really extended that now to where it's 200 hours or 1,000 miles, which is almost unheard of when you talk about break-in period for a new vehicle. Can-Am used to be a little bit pricey on the upkeep side. That's not the case anymore with the new upgraded motor for 2016. Can-Am does things a lot different. Now when it comes to talking about their chassis, this is the biggest diameter steel tube that's on the market right now. It is the most rigid chassis on the market, which one, keeps you safe, but two, also lets the chassis not flex and let the suspension do what the suspension is supposed to do. And Can-Am has the best suspension on the market. When you look at some of this stuff, it's called a TTI, Torsion Trailing Arm Independent Rear Suspension is what that means. Basically what that really kind of breaks down to is there's 75% less moving parts in the back of this machine, which makes it extremely tough and extremely reliable. You don't have to start replacing bushings and bearings and things like that because the suspension doesn't flex and do the average kind of stuff that a double A-arm suspension will do. Now, kicking the bed back like this, you can really take a look at it. Plus, you've also got now, they've gone to the Fox podium piggybacks. They've gotten away from the air-controlled suspension, which I think is a huge upgrade. Air-controlled suspension is nice, but it's really not at home out in the woods, in the mud and muck, where you're probably going to end up going with this machine. So they've gone with the tried and true Fox suspension, which, as you know, is on pretty much everything out there for very, very good reason. You can't really get a whole lot better than that unless you really start dumping some cheese into one of these things. Another thing I was talking about Can-Am being different, their bed is even different. While it is a dump bed, like I just showed you, you still get a tailgate back here, holds 600 pounds, which is pretty much on par with all the larger up crew machines, Yamaha, Polaris, things like that. But this also has a bottom storage bed as well. So you can put stuff in here that you want to keep out of the way of this. Now it's not waterproof, but it's pretty much water resistant unless you end up getting water in the bed back here. It's not really going to seep up through here, but it's not waterproof. There's a difference. Resistant, proof, about the same thing. But also what's really cool about this, you can take this insert right here out and you get a nice big old huge, very, very deep bed. Kendra, if you get over here, I mean, this thing is massive. You know, you can fit 3 bodies in there. You can fit 3 bodies, man. It's extremely handy. You just slide this thing right back in and you go back to your dual stage bed. Now, when I was talking about Can-Am suspension and everything, like I said, they do things different. The front end, that's what they call dial control geometry. It's just the way that everything's bolted into the front end. Now the suspension is very, very soft. I don't weigh enough, obviously, to get it going, but you get the best ride out of this. And for many of y'all are familiar with the way suspension works. Usually if it's soft, the front end will dive. You get a lot of body roll on it. The way that they have everything bolted into this machine is not might be a little bit difficult to get in here and show you what I'm talking about. But it's like I said, it's just the way that everything's bolted to the chassis. So when the front end dives, it's already preloaded. So when it's down and fully compressed, the machine still has the agility and the stability of something that's just sitting static as it is right now. Another thing I'd like to touch on this, the thing is GPS. And that's pure Can-Am right there. They're just the best of everything. Like I said, it used to be pricey to own, not so much anymore. If you want to grab one of these, come back to see me. My name is Brooks. I'll put one of these things in your driveway. It's about the best you can get.